This is Mr. Burley at the York Catholic District School Board. Today I'm going to show you how to make an assembly like this. An assembly is components arranged together and designed to work together. In the old days when we used to have to design stuff, we had to do the top, front, and side view, and then you had in your mind picture how things would work together. Nowadays with more complex assemblies, this is a really nice way to design stuff. So if I come in here right now, I can see it animate the model, and you can actually rotate it around and see, look for interferences and clearance issues and so on, to see how it's working. It's a really nice way too to, when you're in a meeting, to explain how your design's working to somebody. Rather than articulating it, you can show them here. So I'm going to hit the escape key. I'm going to show you, you can animate just the joint itself here, or you can come and you can actually drive the joint yourself and you can move it around. So you can see how it looks. You can rotate it around and move it wherever you like. So come over here. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to design these pieces here. The two side pieces, the top piece, and the base. And you can see what I've done here. This is a separate piece because what you would do is you would drill and tap these holes here, and you would mount these pieces across this way because these would be three separate pieces. Okay, so back to the original position. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the make a new piece. I'm going to come here and I'm going to construction plane, make a construction plane. I'm going to make it symmetrical. I'm going to make it so that we're going to design something on this side, click the construction plane, and it'll mirror it on the other side. Makes it a lot nicer, faster way to do it as well. Okay, so first thing I'll do is create a construction plane, click this face here, and I'm going to bring the construction plane over 80 millimeters this way. So 80. Well, that's 800. You don't want 800. You want 80. There we go. Click OK. Now I'm going to draw that piece here on this side of the one leg. I'll use the rectangle tool for this. Whoops. Rectangle tool for this one right here. Come down like this. I'm going to make this size up here. I'm going to make it 70. And this one here, I think maybe like 200 millimeters high. And I finish the sketch. And I'm going to right click on this one. I'm going to press pull it. I'm going to pull it inbound, say 20 millimeters. It is 20. Perfect. Done. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to mirror it. So I'm going to go window this whole thing in. The mirror command is here. I'm going to select the bodies right here. There you go. The body selected. I'm going to make a new body. The mirror plane, I'm going to select it there. And click OK. So now I've got the... Now what I want to do is I want to double check and make sure the dimensions on the outside are the right size. So let's measure it from there to here, and 160. So 160 millimeters on the outside, 20 and 20. So that looks good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the bridge that goes across this way. And so click this one here. I'm going to sit on that face right there. And when I do, you can see what happens. Now I can't see it. I can't see the face I was drawing on because this one is blocking it. So a nice thing to do is click slice. And now what the slice does is it removes that front piece that I was looking at. So now I can clearly draw on this one. So let's rectangle tool. Let's go here, come down to there, and set the dimensions up. I want this one to be the same as the rest of it. So 20 millimeters. I could have made it a little bit bigger. It doesn't really make any difference. And now I can come up here, press pull it, and I'm going to come across. Now I want this one to be a new component. And as soon as I click new component, you can see what it does. It changes colors. That's because I have this turned on, component cycling. If I didn't, it would just be gray. So I like to keep the component cycling on when I'm doing stuff like this, just so I know that I am working on a new component. I like to make things on components. So I bring it right up to there, touches there nicely. Everything looks good. Click OK. Back to this home screen, and now let's put some radiuses on it. Let's make it look a little bit professional, just the top, and then we'll come down and do the base in a second. So I'm going to take the radius tool. I'm going to come here. I'm going to say 5 millimeters might look nice, and maybe here the same thing. Just break the edges, make them look a little more professional. Right? You wouldn't have a sharp edge, and unlikely you would anyways, especially if it was a 5 millimeters. You can go bigger. You could have made 10 if you liked, but I just think 5 looks good. 5 millimeters and 5 again. So we got that. Now I would normally put a screw here and a screw here to bolt these together, but I'm not going to bother for this at this time. Now let's flip it upside down now, and let's draw on the base here. So I'm going to sit on that face right there, and I'm going to draw a rectangle, 2-point rectangle, and I'm going to make it something like this. Size isn't really important. And let's say, what's the dimension between here and here? Let's set that to about 35. And let's do the same thing down here. Let's make this from here to here. Let's make it, say, 35. And then from here out, why don't we just be consistent? 35. And from here out to here, we'll make it 35 as well. Finish the sketch. Flip it up to the proper way so it flips around like that. Right click, press pull. Now when we press pull, we want to make sure it pulls everything. You can see right there it wasn't going to pull this. It doesn't really matter, but you know, because I think we should make it look good. And again, we want to make a new component, so it should change colors. And the base doesn't have to be too thick. I think 10 millimeters would work nicely. There you go. So we have that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put a hole through here so we can start working with that. So I'm going to hide this thing because it's getting irritating. And so let's put a hole in this piece right here. So we'll sit on that face here. We'll get the, oh, I want to draw a line down the center, from the center of this to the center of that, to use to draw my line, my circle. I'm going to bring my circle tool in here, and let's make it, I don't know, 25 millimeters in diameter should work nicely. And let's set the dimension from there down to the base at 100 millimeters and finish the sketch. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to delete this line here. I don't need it anymore as a construction line. And I'm going to then take this and I'm going to press pull that, and I'm going to push it right through. And you can see it's in cut mode, so it's in fact cutting a hole. So we cut the hole. So there I have the hole cut through now. So now let's make the bar that goes in the center. So what we'll do is we'll sit on this face in here and let's slice it so we can see where we're working. And we're going to click the bar here in the center of that thing. I think 40 millimeters should work. And finish the sketch. And now I can come here and I can I'm going to click this one here and hold the control key down, and I'm going to click this guy too, try to get them both. Sometimes you have to play around with it. There you go. Control, right click, press pull that, and let's pull him over. And again, I'm going to make a new component, and this component I'm going to use for a few different things. So I'm going to bring that guy right over until it taps onto there. Perfect. Click OK. It's a new component. It's good. And now I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to bring a spindle it through there. So I'm going to sit on this face right here. I'm going to draw it on that face, the same size. It would have to be a little bit smaller because otherwise it would jam, but for this purpose today, we're okay. Finish the sketch, right click and press pull him out. And I want to join it to the original. So let's bring it out. Let's see how far I want to bring that out. 60 millimeters. Let's go 80. 80 looks okay. I click OK, and now it became part of that component. Now I can come over here and draw another one on that side, or I can use my mirror tool. Once again, I can say mirror it, and let's put this little guy here, bodies, feature. Let's grab that feature and select the mirror plane is here, and he's gone on the other side, and he's joined as well. Okay, now we want to go in and we'll start putting the holes are in there. What else have I got? Let's put the holes across the top. So what I want to do, actually, no, let me think this for a second. Yeah, maybe I will finish the holes across the top. So we're going to come up here. We're going to sit on this top face, and I'm going to put the line from there across to here, like so. And make sure it's recording, and I'm going to draw that line across. Now I'm going to bring a circle tool somewhere like this here, and I'm going to make it 10 millimeters. So come here and I'm going to go 10 millimeters like so. And now I'm going to stay in the sketch mode right now, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to rectangle pattern, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to select this line here, and I'm going to select the opposite direction. I'm going to change it to spacing, and I've selected it already. That's right. Object selected. Direction I have yet to select, so let's select the direction this way, and I want 4 of them. And the distance is, oh, got 4 of them. The distance is 28 millimeters, I believe. Let's see how that looks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not bad, but I want to move it this way a bit, I think. Nope, let me fix that. Let me undo this guy. undo this guy, and let me fix this up for a second. Okay, so circle tool here, 10 millimeters. I'm going to make that 10 millimeters. And from the edge over, from here to the center of that thing, I can make him 18. And then staying in the sketch mode, go over here. I'm going to go to rectangular pattern, and we're going to select the object. I want this one. The direction is going to be here. Change it to spacing, which it is. I want 4 of them. And the distance in between is 28. Not 228, simply 28. Enter. And there we have it. They look good. They look like they're in the right spot. And I finished the sketch. And now I'm going to delete this line here so that it doesn't get confused when I'm doing that. I can see an extra line here too that I'm going to delete. I don't know why it's there. And there's also one over here, which I'm not sure what it's there for. So now we're going to come in here. We're going to click this, pull the control key down, click these guys here, here, and here, here, here. There we go. Press pull. And if I pull it down through, it's going to cut it. And let's scroll up and make sure it's come all the way through. I didn't inadvertently leave it like that. And yes, it's all the way through. It looks good. I'll cut the hole. Good. All right, so now we'll put in some cam lobes. The cam lobes, excuse me. The cam lobes, I'm going to create a construction plane. I'm going to sit on this face here. I'm going to pull it out 8 millimeters. And you can see there now it's 8 millimeters out. So now I can draw on that face. And of course, when I go to draw on this face, it's hidden again. So let's do the slicing thing, and it shows me the face, right? I click down here to draw a circle, something like this. I don't know, maybe 90 millimeters. Like that. And let's say from here to the center of this guy to the center of this guy here for my, maybe make him 15. And looks good there. Finish the sketch. Let's see what this looks like. Right click this one, press pull him out 10 millimeters. And okay. Whoop. Press pull, join, and can bring him out 10 millimeters. That's good. There you go. Nice. So I've got one cam lobe there. It doesn't look like it's in the right spot. Let me have a look here. No, that should be out further. Let me bring that back out, press pull it out to 20 millimeters. And I think that, yeah, there you go. That's in line. First one was too narrow. Okay, so now I'm going to do another cam again. I'm going to come here. I'm going to go press pull here, the surface here, bring it out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go new body here. I'm going to one-sided leave that, and I'm going to offset it here, and I'm going to offset it by 8 millimeters, and I want to bring it out to, I got it a bit too early. Right click, press pull, let's bring it out to 20 millimeters, click OK, and it didn't join. You notice it's not part of it, so I'm going to come back and I'm going to go edit the feature, and I'm going to make it join to the original, like so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist this. I could put all the cams across first and then orientate them afterwards. Actually, that's probably what I'll just do, that make it easier. I can mirror image them across, so I could continue the path that I'm doing now, or I can go like this too. I can go here and I can go mirror, and I can select this and I can select that. Control. Actually, let's do faces. I'm going to go here and here. Here, here. It's hard to tell because it's the blue color, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, should be 6 faces. I'm not sure which face I missed. So I'm just going to do again. It's hard to tell because it's the blue color. It's not. So faces, select. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 selected. This time it worked nice. Mirror plane, I'm going to check is, make sure I get in there and get this proper mirror plane right there. There we go. Click OK, and now I've got all my cams sitting there. So now what I'm going to do is I want to rotate the cams up. So I'm going to go to move, copy. I'm going to select the bodies. I'm going to grab him, and I'm going to select the end here. I should change the color. The color is difficult. So here, and three faces selected. That's right. I want to make it rotate, and I want to rotate around the surface here. And I want to bring it up to 180, like so. So you see that cam's up. So cam down, cam up, cam down. We'll bring this one a little up as well. So do the same thing, move copy, select faces. I want 1, 2, 3. 3 selected. We're going to rotate it. Now I have to select the axis I want to rotate it on, which is this axis right here. And I can rotate him up to same thing, 180 degrees, and I click OK. And there I have it. Okay, so now we're going to design the pins in here, and then we'll put a crank at the end of it as well. So let's put the pins in. Those pins would come down and sit on this. So I'm going to draw on this face right here. I'm going to create a circle. I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to just create a circle like so. And I'm going to click Finish Sketch, and then I'm going to extrude that circle, press pull it. I'm going to press pull it in 2 different directions. So one side, 2-sided. All right, the top one I'm going to pull up like this. I also want to make sure that this is a new component. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to grab this guy and I'm going to pull him down. I'm going to pull him right down so he sits right on the cam lobe. We're pretty darn close to the cam lobe. And if I click front view, I'm going to zoom in. And you can see it's touching. I want to have a slight gap there. Otherwise, you'd have a binding, especially if you had a spring up top, right? So let's pull it back to, so if that's at 70 right now, let's go 69.5 and give myself a bit of a gap for it to sit on there. Okay, scroll out now like so. And I'm going to go, I want to bring this piece down a little bit more. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to right click, press, pull this. I'm going to take him down to, so it's about, let's say 15 millimeters above. Click OK. I'm going to sit on this face right here and I'm going to put some heads on this thing. Come out like so. And the diameter is 23. Let's make it 23 even. And I'm going to finish the sketch and extrude this one up and this both like that. Go to the front view and let's see how high. Let's go 30 millimeters. Yeah, 30 looks good. Click OK. Like that. Looks good. Now, I got a nice bit of a gap here, which is good. Now I'm going to put a radius on the top. Actually, no, I'm going to put a chamfer on the top, on the very top one. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click Modify, Chamfer, and I'm going to chamfer this 2 millimeters. All right, looks good. Now, a real cam lobe, if you've ever looked at them, they always have a radius on the front. So let's do that now. Let's come in here and let's go here and maybe make this 5 millimeters. See what it looks like. A little bit of a lag there. 5 millimeters is pretty reasonable because it's the actual radius of this, right? So that would work nicely. Okay, so now I want to copy down here. I've drawn those out. Let's mirror pattern it, or let's pattern it. Select the bodies or components. Actually, let's just select that whole component. The direction. This is in the way I can't see it. So let's move it up. Direction. Select the direction of this direction. Good. Spacing is, if you remember before, we're going to do 4 of them, and the spacing was 28. And it populates it nicely. You can see them buried in there, but that's okay. We're going to fix it later on. Click OK. And there we have them in position. So nothing, as of yet, nothing is moving. That's going to be the next video. So now let's do a crank. Let's put a crank on the end of here. So I'm going to sit on this face here. And I'm going to make the crank part of the same assembly. If I make it blue like the rest of it, it'll spin with it. If I don't, I have to constrain it. So let's just put something. You can design any crank you want. I'm going to do a circle one. And I'm going to finish the sketch. I'm going to right click, press, pull this thing out. And let's bring it out to about 10 millimeters out the center too. It looks good. It's joining, so it's became part of it. Perfect. So that's part of that component. Now I need a handle. So I'm going to sit on this face right here, and let's do a little bit of a handle right in here like so, maybe 10 millimeters. See how that works? Yeah, 10 millimeters looks okay. Right click, press, pull that 10 millimeters, and this 10 millimeters, and pull him out. That's probably too wide, but 100 millimeters looks good. Joining that, and there we have it. So now we should be able to crank this handle, and these things should go up and down. And then the last video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and put a brake in here. We're going to put a brake in to stop it from moving. Okay, so that's the first video. In the second video, we'll come back. We'll do the constraints. We'll make it come to life and actually work.